The unknown is ever present. Few dare tread inside. The Bronxville Paranormal Society, in cooperation with the New York State UFO Project, the New York State Sasquatch Organization, and the North American Dogman Project, New York State Chapter, take you deep inside real cases, real experiences, and their reality. And now your hosts, Bryan Bowden and Santariga.
I'm unmuting my mic.
There you go.
Yep. I want to thank everybody for showing up. I'm doing like double duty right now. Am I muted now, Cisco? I don't think I'm muted at this point. I'm still muted? Oh, that's funny.
I hear you.
Yeah, well, he hears me, but I don't know if they hear me. Oh, that's weird. Let me see. Let me jack up my stuff. Let me jack up my stuff right there. Nope. I think everything was working the way it should. Who knows? You know what? It's all it's crazy. Oh, I'm good now. Thank you very much.
Is that the link that I used to share with? Because it's like,
dude, if you use that link I sent you right now,
yeah,
you're just inviting anybody and everybody to the podcast.
Oh, well,
delete that ASAP.
Well, then how in the hell?
5x5, Cisco. Hopefully tomorrow, while he's deleting the crap that he just did when we have like 50 people joining in right now that I have to boot. Well, I'm not going to go into details, but I was talking to Tigger about it, and I think it may have been, so publicized that it may not happen. I know I have to talk cryptic because at this point in time, I will get screwed royally via Facebook and social media, because everything I post at this point is just suspect, and they just go after me. So I got to be very, very, very careful. And this is the first one I want to thank. Hey, besides Cisco being here, AJK, thank you. Dark Woods, Lieutenant, welcome. I'm going to be doing double, triple, quadruple duties today. Our big toe, Al Santariga, has been eating way too much plant-based products, and he's not feeling very well. So we'll send him some prayers and get well soon. I told him if he keeps eating those plant-based products, he's going to grow a vagina. But that's just me. I don't know about you. But we do have him here in different ways. Like, I can put him in and, have him come in different ways.
Make it on TV and you forget about your friends.
There he is.
Catch the apple in garbage.
Yeah. Well, I just did that right now. We were going to go through a bunch of different things, and I'm gonna go. Hold on, let me just add these to the show. I want to thank AJK. Thank you for coming into the stream, and thank you again for subscribing to us. I apologize because you're gonna have a good show either way, because we're gonna be discussing a little bit of everything as much as possible. And I have this little item here called the phone with the New York State UFO Project hologram sticker on it, and I can actually call people and get them into the show through calls. So you never know. I mean, I may be calling Cisco anytime if she's up for it. I think it'd be good.
I haven't talked to her for a while.
Yeah. Her show is awesome. Journey Through the Gate Paranormal Portal podcast. Freaking amazing. Really, really amazing. Imodium, yeah. Al needs Imodium right now. Maybe that and some Depends. Hi, Auntie Cisco. Bloody good to hear your journey through the gate. Facebook user, if you go to, and I'm going to put the banner up for that. Here, give you permission so we can see who you are, Facebook user, which would be great because we'd love to have you join in. Please go to the link there, and it will give you it'll permission your account. So whenever you post something, you could be here. But I hope everybody's well. I hope everybody was doing good and doing well, and life is treating you better. I've been through hell and back the last couple of months. A lot of people passing away, so it's been wasn't thinking about podcasting at that point. I have been enjoying Cisco's journey through the Gate Paranormal podcast, and she's got a great group there with gatekeepers and some good stuff right there. So we can get this going on. I could see you. You can wave. Everybody wave to him.
I'm just checking to make sure my shit's like not froze, man.
No, it's not froze. It's not froze at all. You look good. This man right here, Tigger. Some of us in the chat room know he goes by a different name, or did. We'll just call him Tigger for right now, but you may hear me refer to him as something else. He started all this crap a long, long time ago in a valley far, far away.
Yeah.
Tell him about your show. I mean, I still miss it every Wednesday night.
Oh, you still miss Swamp Gas. I know you're one of the few people that does.
I miss Swamp Gas.
You are one of the few people that does miss.
No, there's a lot of people that miss that show. You had a great show. I mean, like a fantastic show. He had some great guests. You had some bad nights too. I remember you had a couple of people on there, and you were like, "That's all you're gonna give me? That's it." And I'm like, "I don't have any more. What do you want from me?" But his chat room was amazing. Great group of people in there. Yep, and the shows were great. He had really great guests. He introduced me.
We can't leave out the other people that made up Black Swamp Radio.
Yes, who were
Cisco was one of them.
Yes, Cisco was there.
Cisco was there. Cat Ward was there. Yep. You were there. Angel from PSN was there. I mean,
people, right?
I don't even remember everybody that was there.
It was. I mean, I remember hearing Dead in 5, and I knew it was going to be good for a good hour, 2 hours.
Oh yeah. I still listen to Dead in 5 while I'm riding my bike every time I'm riding my bike. It's
a good band. It really, really is, and we're just happy to we're just happy to be here right now. I really wish Al was here because we've been experiencing a lot of stuff in the paranormal right now, with people. It went from researchers and investigators to there's a face blowing a kiss right now.
Yeah,
I don't know who that is. That's my daughter's phone right now. It's over here. We went from people that were boots on the ground researchers or investigators to storytellers. And there is a place for storytellers in this world. There's a good place for it. Campfires, there's a muddy waters kind of guy. I'm just going to use that term because I'm not. Well, Dark Waters. Dark Waters is a storyteller.
Dark Waters is a storyteller. It's the biggest.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Yep.
I don't want to even get started.
Don't get started.
I'm not going to slam people on your show.
Yeah.
Dark Waters is not the person that he leads you to believe he is, and that's all I'm going to say about it.
Yeah, I don't attack anybody. Even if I don't agree with their opinion, I will not attack them. It's not my, I'm not here to do it. Karma will get your ass more than I will. I won't do it. You come after me and my family and my kids, it's totally different. But as far as what we do here, I don't give a shit. I'm not selling you anything, and I'm not going to attack you. And 99% of the time, you're not going to get onto this broadcast if I think you're full of shit. If you see somebody on my show or the show that we do, we're supposed to do monthly with Al, or whatever, these people are people you need to learn, know about, follow, listen to, because they got real information for you. They are very connected to the subject in many ways, and some of them can't reveal how they are connected to it, but it's important that you know that you're listening to some important stuff here. Yeah. So
when I use the word classified, I actually mean it.
Yeah. He really means it. The Tigger is on a totally different plane, if not sometimes planet.
Fuck you. Okay.
Yep. So, he's on a totally different planet. It's very interesting what he does, and hey, what's up? Is that B? B, welcome to the show. It's my first one in months. Al was supposed to be here, but he grew a vagina.
Oh man, leave Al alone.
I'm fucking around with Al right now. Al's gonna kill me.
Al's gonna kick your butt.
I'll call you if you want. You can come in that way. Yeah, Al's not feeling very well at all. He feels like crap. So, and everybody's like, "Is it COVID?" I'm like, "No, he's just drained. He's been running around. It's getting hotter. You're not used to the weather and temperature change. He probably has congestion, and he's just, something going around. He needs younger kids, so we got to encourage his kids to have kids.
Yeah,
so he can be called Grandpa Al from the Munsters." I had to.
You're in a mood tonight, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in a shit mood. I don't fucking care.
You're in a freaking mood today.
Yeah. So getting what Al and I were going to do, and we're not really, we will not name names, but we will discuss the fact that there are researchers, investigators, and then there are storytellers, and some of them tell a really good story, but it's now moved towards storytellers, and then you move the religious right into it. And I'm a God-fearing person. Love the Lord. Okay. Yeah, a little bit. And I haven't even smoked anything. Just a little bit, Cisco. But once you do that, and I have no problem with storytellers when they're storytellers. It's when people think it's the gospel, and that's the problem. People are starting to believe these storytellers, and what happens is these storytellers get a bigger ego, and they liked it. Okay, let me see how much more outrageous I can get.
Well, I don't even think it's so much as that. What I think it is that people get a taste of recognition, and people get a taste of money or whatever, and all of a sudden they start to be they get afraid that they're going to lose what they have, and they have to start building on more and say that they're this and claim this. It's got to be more amazing every single week.
Yep.
And then your head starts to get bigger because you got all these people who don't know you and really don't give a shit about you, who say you're great and that they love you and all that, when that's not really the case. And it can really mess you up.
Yeah, and it screws you up. I mean, look, I get it. Let me tell you something. If you don't have enough subs now, you missed the boat on YouTube. You really did. I mean, you can make some money on it, but it's not going to be, anything you can retire on. You would need an instantaneous, close to 10 million subs to really do something today. And yeah, I mean,
I have no idea how to even do YouTube. It's like I think one video I have is probably over the last 10 years gotten 1,500 hits. I have no idea how to do any of that to make people even see the stuff that I do. So I just said the hell with YouTube altogether, because it just seemed like a money grab.
Yeah, I'm just letting people know it is a money grip. I get it. You want to make money, and if you're putting on a great program, B, who's here, Cryptid Encounters with B, she has a great podcast. She has a lot of great guests on there, and some people I just don't want to pay attention. No offense, B. It's just I'll have people you don't care about, and so on and so forth. And she has every right to make as much money as possible, and you have every right to sell swag and do all this stuff. But we move from the rationale and real. I'm not going to call it science because everything is speculative. But we move from that, and then what happens when you get these storytellers in here, like Cisco said, and I'm going to say too, that are full of shit and liars, and doing faking evidence and a whole bunch of this stuff. And I know a lot of these people that are hot right now, they are so full of shit.
Well, I think
them out for.
I can think that the biggest story. I don't remember. Was it you who told me that 20-foot tall Bigfoots are having sex with Nephilim?
Yep,
that do not exist.
Yep, I heard that on one of these guys' podcasts. Not UB, another one's podcast. He had a guest on there, and I wasn't being. I'm not disrespectful on other people's shows. I'm very, very respectful, whatever. But when I heard that the reason why we have 20 to 25 foot Bigfoots is because the Nephilim are having sex and creating them, I'm like, really? You actually believe that? Holy crap. I got a bridge outside my window right now. I'll sell it to you. $1. It's bullshit. Right?
$1 a square foot. There you go.
$1 a square foot. So that was part of the thing. I mean, I know I don't want to get too crazy with this. There's a lot going on right now. And what I want to do is Tigger has this information on source. I believe in God or a God, and that's through my religion. But Tigger follows a different path, and he calls things source. And we don't really know I don't know what source is. So, I mean, This man has a ton of wisdom, and we're going to get to that in a moment. But tonight we're going to talk. I can call you from my phone and get you on if you have a question. You can post a question here in the chat. We're going to go into the source in a second, but something that I also wanted to say, which took place just a couple days ago. I was going out to get fire agate, right? The stone, the mineral. Yeah. It's good for protection and, positive vibes and all this other crap. And also, today is May 1st for those people out there, and the first rain is holy water.
May 1st.
Yeah. I mean, the first rain of May. Sorry. It's the first rain of May is considered holy water.
Where do you get this?
I got this from someone who practices hoodoo and Santariga and Palo and a bunch of other things. There's a couple of, even the church recognizes it. Nephilim has 6 fingers and toes and 2 rows of teeth. Yes, they do. They're your typical giant, double rows and red hair for the most part, which is really the dominant factor. But so that's what I heard. But I was coming back from something, and I've been the last couple of weeks has been really, really, really stressful and negative, and people are just nasty. I don't know if you've noticed it. I want to talk also about where you work now and what you do for people in a minute. But I don't know if you've noticed, like, for the last 2 weeks, you'll have a problem with everybody anyhow, so it doesn't matter. Why am I even bothering asking you? But has anybody else felt that negativity that's been going on around the world right now, the planet? I mean, people are nasty, they're negative. I got a guy that tried to screw me out of, because I didn't buy a bag for $25. He wanted to take me for $25. A fucking $25. We're nickeling and diming people. We're throwing people under the bus. Cisco's going to get married to a 500-year-old pirate this summer to boost her ratings. Oh, I think it's great. and I you know, I don't care, you know, what you know, if you're gay or not gay. You're either gay or you're not gay. There's no other titles to it. Okay.
Well,
Negative.
I don't see race.
Yeah.
And I don't see gay. If what you need to do is, okay, it wasn't a black man who robbed the store, it wasn't a white man or a Mexican who robbed the store, it was a man.
Yeah.
But the media plays everything against everything.
Yeah, they really do.
You know, and the big thing is the gay thing right now, which I think there's a lot of ulterior agendas.
Right.
But as long as the guy doesn't come up and grab my ass, I don't care who the hell he is. I don't care what he is.
Yeah.
You know, unless he physically touches me, I don't care. It doesn't matter. And but all the stuff that they're doing with the kids and all this kind of crap is disgusting, and they're doing it with a reason. And I think part of it has to do with, well, if everybody's gay, then we're not making babies, and that's part of depopulation.
Yep.
In some weird way, I think that's what they're doing it for.
Right.
Then who the hell am I? I could be wrong.
Well, I think they're doing it to divide the people as much. See, you know, the whole saying, United we stand, divided we fall. It's the truth. You're only as strong as your weakest link, and if you keep fighting with everybody, you're so distracted that you don't see the people coming into your house and stealing everything, or putting poison in your body, or you know, lying to you, you know, whatever. So I don't care. I have a lot of friends, you know, growing up, and I have family members that's their prerogative. And I love the fact that they now have the rights just as much as married people, so they could be on a living will or power of attorney, or just like, you know, which is important. If your loved one gets sick, you have to make that decision, you know, and they have rights to health insurance. This is great. But people took it, and instead of doing the American thing of living your life and moving on, the whole new trend now is to shove shit in your face.
And shove it down your throat.
I just don't shove it down my throat. You know what? You can be whatever you want. You want to call yourself whatever you want. You know exactly what you are. Just open your pants, look down, and if you got a hose hanging out of you, you're a boy. And if you don't, you're a girl. Okay? But don't, you know, you go after children. No. Done. And that's where the problem is. But it's spiritual warfare. I'm going to put this, it's depopulation, but Cisco hit it on the nail on the head. They're creating a spiritual warfare here. And the fucking Georgia Guidestones. I was thinking about going to them one time on the way down to Florida. And I don't know. Donnie Cho in the house. Look at this. Donnie, you're going to love my guest. Tigger, Tramp, whatever your name is. There's a lot of spiritual warfare. It's crazy. But to get onto the, you know, get away from this, I was like, you know, I felt compelled. It almost like I felt like someone was telling me that you need to give a message out there, because there are a lot of people that are light workers. Okay.
Yeah, right.
There are a lot of people that know that they're light workers, that are legitimate light workers. There's a lot in this chat right now. Okay. And then there are people that don't know, but are being awoken to the fact that we need you. You're being tapped right now. You're a light worker, right? Am I close?
Me? People need to understand I can be very offensive. I am an asshole. Yes, I am.
Yes. If you get offended,
I will tell you the way that it is. And that's just the way that it is. All right. And I put in the private chat, I put the name of the store so that you can just go find it and read it.
That would be great.
You know,
cool. I'm going to go look for it.
So things were happening. And for me, I wrote my books.
Right.
And the one was about the Secor Hotel and the Commodore Perry. And I stopped in there one day and I met the girl one of the girls who owns the shop, and it's a spiritual shop, and it kind of caught my interest. And then me and Kelly went, and we went to dinner, at the bistro, the Registry Bistro, which I mean, there you can get a shot of whiskey there for $65. I mean, that's how high. Yes, that's how high class this place is.
Cisco, we ain't going to this one.
Okay,
$65 a shot.
So, and just before that, I had been in there talking to the chef, who I didn't know was the owner of the restaurant.
Right.
And she showed me some pictures, and I've got all kinds of pictures, old pictures of this place. And if you haven't read the book, I'm not going to give you very many spoilers about the book. But the place was built in, what was it, 1907 or something like that. I don't really remember. And
right.
So anyway, moving on. It's been about 6 months since I've been in the building, and I go back into the building, and the shop is open, and I meet the owner, and the owner ends up working with, she doesn't work with Kelly, but because one person works at one place and one person works at another place, and they have to intermingle. They know each other. So I know, I forgot my point where I was going here. So anyway, this woman,
we're talking about
Lee Sanders, she owns the shop. She offered me a job. She doesn't know me from Adam. She doesn't know nothing. She just, I mentioned I do Reiki, and I put my hands over her hands, and then I put them over her partner's hands.
Right.
And they go, "You're hired."
Wow.
And by the way, I need you to teach. And yes, you can sell your books in here, and so on and so forth. So it has grown, and she has described it as what's Hogwarts? Is it?
Oh yeah, Hogwarts.
It's described it as she wants it to become a Hogwarts, just like in Harry Potter is what she wants. I got
not a bad idea.
So yeah, and so I will be teaching. I do lectures. I will do lectures on the ascension side of it, but I will be teaching Magic 101, possibly Magic 102, and I will hold an alien abductee group.
That was great.
Yeah, Bryan and me were talking about it the other day, so I went to Miss Sanders and asked her about it. And she thought that was awesome. And
great idea.
And
let me tell you something. Where you're from, that fucking state, Ohio, is the weirdest state in the planet. You gotta, I think there's almost 10,000 per square inch of Ohio of paranormal people. It's crazy if you've ever been to Ohio. Investigators. So there's a shitload of abductees there.
Yes, there's many abductees here.
Yeah,
we held our first psychic fair just about, I guess, 6 weeks ago now, and we're gonna have another one at the end of May. And Boo Paranormal, which I know some of you may know Boo Paranormal. They used to work with a group, but now they work with Harold St. John's group, Little Ghost Hunters.
Yep.
They are going to host the haunted house events at the Sea Corps, and he's going to be they're going to be helping me with me Sanders with the shop, with promoting the shop and all that kind of happy neat stuff. So that's where that's going on there. So everything, I was amazed. It was kind of like Lego blocks all fitting together. You had them on the floor, and it's like you look back and you see, okay, this piece goes here, this piece goes here, this piece goes here, and then they just all emerged.
Yeah,
and
keep going.
Go.
No, I was gonna say. Your show. No, it's, you know what? I don't really play that. If someone's on as a co-host, it's our show. It's that one love thing.
It's your show, dude.
It's yeah, one love.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. So this is a great segue into source, okay? Because you talk about it with me, and I still say it's God. Okay, some would say Jesus.
Source is
what is source exactly?
Exactly. You want to know exactly what source is.
I mean, like,
source is where God gets his mojo from.
Wow. Really? Source is above God.
Not above, but source. It's kind of like you always use this phrase of switching on the light bulb. All right. Well, source is the electricity that the light uses to light up the light bulb. Does that make sense?
So source is an energy source.
Source is the universe. Source is light, energy, and dark, and everything that makes everything else work. It's kind of like, without dark matter, you would have the planets would all go. The gravity would just draw everything together into another little ball, and we'd have a big bang, and it would just, collapse on itself and come back. But there's dark matter there.
I haven't had a big bang in a while, but
that's my problem.
Try the beer. But so because of is it a religion what you follow, or is it a?
Not at all. I follow I'm in the occult, and the occult is ascension. Is you have several different layers. I guess you could put it like an onion,
right? Of
ascension. You can go from being a crackhead to a normal person.
Right.
That's a personal ascension.
Okay.
You have the ascension from childhood to adulthood. You have the ascension from not having any spiritual belief to having spiritual belief. That is ascension. And then you have ascension where Buddha took him and his body, both parts of him, and ascended back to source. Okay.
So they go, I would call it the ether, is it heaven? Is it
it's source is source is source. Source is it. It's everything. I know you're not comprehending what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get this down, because it does. I kind of understand, but I don't understand, because I believe that there's a supreme being, and you're that supreme being. What you're saying is okay. Here we go.
You see this right here?
Models.
All right. Yeah. Well, I don't have much to work with here. I'm sorry. All right. This put a little stick figure right here. That's my finger.
Ooh.
It's my finger.
Right.
All right. All right. So this is the planet.
Right.
You're standing on the planet. Now you have this above you. All right.
Okay.
And you have put a little star. Draw on a piece of paper. Draw this out, and you can draw the bottom. Then you can draw the top. You can put your little stick figure there,
right?
And then you mark a little star somewhere in that line. And once you've marked a little star in that line, that star represents your higher self.
Okay.
Okay, because there are two parts to this equation that I'm talking about right now. Because if you had all the information and your physical self would go up in flames, because the vibration is so much higher on the other side of the veil than it is on this side of the veil, because you are physical. You're trapped in a physical body. You're
the shell, right?
You have your spirit, you have your soul, and you have your body. The soul, you know what a ballast is for the light.
Right.
The ballast if somebody doesn't know what a ballast is in one of those, great big long tube lights, the ballast is what changes the current from one voltage and amperage to another one. Well, that's what your soul does and resides in your body. It takes the frequency in it lowers the frequency so you can reside inside your body.
Right.
Well, at the same time, you are connected to your higher self, and your higher self is in that line. Now, when you connect to your higher self, you can make that line that you're connected to, you can make that line vibrate. And when you do that, then you manifest. But what else is that line connected to? That line is connected directly to source. So not to God, not to any angels, but directly to source, like a spider web, all connecting to the very same thing. It just goes and it's out there.
So I'm just looking at something that Donnie Cho put up there. He said he always defines source as the code that dictates the interplay between matter, energy, and consciousness. Is he close? I mean, that sounds like a great way of trying to.
That sounds like a good way of trying to understand it.
Yeah, that sounds great. See, Donnie's great. Donnie, here, I'm gonna give you, the applause. That's fucking awesome. That's a great concept right there. A lot of people can't even get past what he just put up there. It's a lot of like over the head type of stuff. So I get that's pretty.
So we're all, every one of us in this room is in agreement on the fact that we're here to learn. We're here to experience. We are here for the whole 9 yards. And when it comes down to it, when you get to the point where you are connecting yourself to your higher self, even if that's all that you do is connect yourself to your higher self, you then realize that everyone, you, my Kelly, my dogs, the geese out in the pond across the street, we're all one. We're all the same thing. Physics proves this by the fact that every 36,000 times a second, you explode and you come back together.
Right.
Well, when I'm standing next to someone, then me has just intermingled with the person next to me. Okay.
Right.
So that we get mixed up. We're all one. We have a separate consciousness. That's about as separate as we get with it. Everything is one thing, from the stars to the moon, to the trees, to the water, everything. We are all part of it. It is all us. So when we treat something badly because we think it's funny,
right?
Not only are we hurting someone else, we're hurting ourselves.
So because we're all connected.
Because we're all connected.
So if we're all one, right, and we're all part of this one thing, how the hell do we still have assholes in this world? Like real pieces of garbage. Shouldn't all of us, if we're all getting that taken back from, if we're all getting, hammered from these negative ones or whatever you want to call it, why do those still exist?
Misinformation, lack of faith, fear, and that's the top three I can think of.
Yeah. Well, on the same vein, Cisco put up something and they said a question, and it says, for both, in your opinions, what is one personal protection practice or a small act to get off the dark goo they've been slinging at us? Golden bubble, grounding, prayer, oils, crystals, thoughts. How do we take this? This also falls into those. What do we do to protect ourselves from those people that don't have the faith and, are just the bad people, negative people?
For anything, connect to your higher self. Yourself, you're not going to lie to yourself. And your higher self, you're not going to lie. It's not going to lie to you. It's going to tell you the way it is, whether you want to hear it or not.
Yeah, well, I've noticed, I changed dramatically when I started to connect to, I guess, that higher self, where things that used to bug the crap out of me don't bother me anymore. It's so beneath me. It's so belittled.
Well,
it's like,
you hear me joke around about the cult of fuck it. Fuck it. I don't care what the person across the street thinks.
Right.
I don't care what they are doing. They're on their own personal journey, whether I agree with it or not. And unless they're coming to do me harm or give me problems, it's not my business.
Right. I mean, I like that attitude, the FU attitude. You know, I think Al would be saying something different. You know, like
I'm calling bullshit.
That's what Al would say. Al would easily say,
I'm calling bullshit.
"Yeah,
that's Al.
I got Al. All these different things for Al. You know, these sound bites. You know, and I noticed that, like, when you when you let things roll off your back, you know, I don't want to use the crap that you know, they always teach you, like, God works in mysterious ways.
Well,
shut the fuck up.
When you realize that, oh, where's that piece of paper? Because it's got I knew I'd forget it. So
yeah, and I do, you know, I do believe AJK.
Elohim.
I believe the same thing about God.
In the Old Testament, Elohim, or whatever.
Elohim. Yep.
Yeah, that was those are the ancient ones. Those are multiple gods, not one God. And Yahweh is the Jewish God. He is the God of the Jews. He is the one that all Christians now are supposed to be worshiping. And
yes.
Jesus Christ is a fictitious name for what the hell? I told you what his name was, and I forgot what his name was.
Yahweh.
No.
Yeshua.
Yeah, but that is also not the name.
53.
That is a translated name from the Roman.
Yep.
So that I'm not even sure about as far as that one is concerned. As a trend. So once you realize that you have been fed a line of bullshit to keep you in line, keep you in check, keep you in fear,
right?
To make you obey and do what the people in power want you to do at whatever time in history that you reside in, then you take yourself back and become something that you should be.
So then you raise your vibration, or you're up to the higher level.
You raise your vibrations, you raise your awareness, you meditate a whole lot, and that is so that you can try to get a clear picture of and connect to your higher self.
Oh yeah.
And the best step I can say on a show like this is just worry about connecting to your higher self. Your higher self will tell you where you need to go and what you need to do, because I don't know. I don't know how many times you've been here. I don't know how many times you're going to be here. I don't know what you've done in your life, but connect to your higher self, and maybe a Christian path is where you're supposed to be right now. I'm not going to, but you know what?
I think where you have to be is where you feel the most comfort, where you connect to. I mean, that's why people do what they do. Some people just do it because, well, my grandfather did it, my mother did it, my father did it, No, I was born in one, and I believe in a variety of different things and individuals through these books, and I have a relationship with what I call God. Okay, and I don't need anybody telling me anything. And Cisco brought up a great point, that the church itself, it's severely compromised. Let me tell you something, it should burn down. Okay, because they are it's like the anti-church now. It's about control, and it's about scaring the hell out of people and afterlife and whatever. And what people don't realize is you don't need to go to a building or any place to talk to your God. You don't need to be told by a priest or a nun or a rabbi or an imam or whatever to talk, what the translation is from you and your God or source. You can do it everywhere. That's a big tell right there.
I walk out my front door. I walk out my back door.
Yep.
I even lately been going downtown there to the Mystic Arts, and that building is amazing, man. I'm going to tell you what, and the people there are cool, and it's a safe place, and it's non-judgmental, and
there it is.
It's like walking. It's like stepping into another time,
realm, right?
Another realm. It's like stepping into another realm. There you go.
Yeah.
That was the word I was looking for, because everything that's outside ceases to matter, and you walk in, and just the building itself that the Sea Corps has held for the last 100 years. The energy will relax you, and the permanent quote unquote residents, they will help to put you on track. There's the place is haunted, but there's not a single entity.
It's not malicious, right?
Huh?
It's not malicious. It's not.
No, there's not a single entity there that wishes harm on anybody.
Right.
And not one single entity there that wants to hurt anybody, and that's amazing all by itself. Most dwellings have at least one.
Right.
This place doesn't.
It's funny when I've met. There's a lot of people here that I've actually met in person. We've become very, very close and friends. You're included, and it's like destiny. It was kismet. It was like meant to be, And I think in the reincarnation that a lot of us go through, coming back down to this, butthole of a planet, we're destined to meet. And when you connect with somebody and I think the new word my kid uses, she uses the word we vibe. You vibe very well, like that vibration, which is basically what we're talking about right here. When you start vibing very well, you don't want to leave that and go back out into the crap. That's why it's probably connected. There it is.
Bryan did the artwork for this book, by the way.
Yep.
And Bryan did not this one. This is just Twisted Life, Kelly.
Yeah.
Hi, Kelly. He also did the format.
Yep.
For the book. You cannot get hardbacks anymore. This is hardback. I got it just so I could have a hardback, but the hardbacks came out, and I figured out why, but they came out kind of messed up. The table of contents wasn't right in any of them.
Yeah, I had to reformat it for that.
That was because it needed to be reformatted for it, and it didn't happen. And
we'll do that for the next one.
Nobody was going to buy the hardbacks anyway. But at the Sea Corps, my books are a seller. They are a big seller.
Yeah,
everybody that reads the books likes the books, and that's all I can say about it. Whether anybody gives a damn or not, that's
so. Knowing him for so many years, and he talks about different things, he's very vague about stuff because he has to be. He answers to a higher power, a higher source, we'll just say. And I remember I got the book, the first one, and then you reconfigure and you expand it on one versus the other. I'm reading it and I'm like, holy shit. I called Al up immediately. I'm like, dude, you got to read this. It's his autobiography. Read it now. And he's like, what? Just read it. And we were just like, holy crap. And I'm going to share that. I'm going to share a screen where you can get his books on Amazon. He doesn't go by Tigger on Amazon. He goes by Paul Eisen.
Yeah, that's spelled I-E.
There it is. Can you see it, folks? There it is. Those are his books.
And did the cover work for each one of those.
Yeah.
And Swamp Dust is the compilation of all my work. So if you buy Swamp Dust, then you read all the stuff. If you just want to read one, if you just want Twisted Life because it's $6 and you've never read my work before and you're not sure that you want to waste $20, then that's fine.
The Kindle version for 99 cents. I mean, how bad could that be? If you're into the Kindle thing.
I sold a couple of Kindles the other day.
There you go. I mean, it's 99 cents. It costs you more to to go pick up some Starbucks or whatever it is. But we'll get back to that. We'll put the link in there too. But getting back to this whole thing about warfare, church and spiritual warfare, Donnie, you had the best quote all. When it comes to spiritual warfare, the church is the equivalent of a strip mall karate school. That is so.
That's just it. You don't have to have spiritual warfare. You don't have to have that. All right. You can be a real person and you can understand that you are light and that you are dark because the universe is light and the universe is dark. And that you will do whatever it is that you need to do to protect you and yours, or to keep someone else from harming someone else on the street. Yep. And your magic works the same way as the way that you walk around in life. And that's just the way that it is. You don't have to have spiritual warfare of he said this and she said that. Well, I have to go against this person for this and I have to go against. That's all distraction. And the distraction is designed to keep you from finding what the real truth is. And once you get in touch with your higher self, you will have no doubt in your mind what the truth really is. The higher self, when you get in contact with your higher self, then you will know absolutely what's actually going on. And if it doesn't matter, we're not talking about what God to believe in here. We're not talking about the pagan gods here, which I'm friends with many of them. And we're not talking about the Christian God. We're not talking about Allah. We're not talking about any of those gods. We're talking about source. And source is where everyone else, source is where everybody, including you, gets their mojo from on any level.
Yeah, it's just, when you're, I guess is it jaded or when you brought up one way, you kind of lean a little bit more towards that way. I'm into the occult, and I lead towards paganism because that's who I am. Right.
And I have had personal relationships with a few, they don't go by gods anymore.
Right.
But that's so other people understand that's who they are. That's who I've had something to do with.
Right.
But they have changed just like everyone else has changed. They don't.
If you caught me 15 years ago, max, I think, and you told me, hey, why don't we go meditate? I would have just laughed at you.
Yeah,
like,
I know you would.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, let's go meditate. How much acid do you have with you? That's what you want to call it, I'm
going to tell you what. There you go. There, you just hit on something. When you connect to your higher self and you attempt to work with source through your higher self, you'll never need another drug again, unless you get in a car accident. You need pain meds.
Yeah,
you'll never need another drug again in your life.
This episode of Source brought to you by DMT.
Oh, shut up.
It's funny. There's a researcher out there, folks. If you're into UFOs and what's going on in the world, and a little bit more, but he's more UFO. Grant Cameron. He's freaking amazing right now, and Grant has been experimenting because I found out through my research a long while ago, and then Al, when I met with Al and whatever, it's sound, frequency, vibration, and consciousness. That is the key to the paranormal, the metaphysical, life, everything. If you want to have a UFO experience, like, a CE5, or we call it an active intelligent encounter, its intention is part of that. And if you put the positive attention out there, use your consciousness to project that out, you're going to have an experience. You're going to bring a craft in. I can't help you if you get abducted, so you're on your own, son. But this is part of that. I wouldn't have never have thought about this when I was way back when, and I was interested in the subject, but I never would have put A, B, and C together. And then once I started to do this, it took off. It's right there in your face, and that meditation factor is huge, right? I think Cisco does a lot of that stuff as well. I mean, a lot of people that hit up on Cisco's journey through the gate paranormal portal podcast. Wow, that's a mouthful, Cisco. She's always talking about it, but she goes through, if I'm correct, that Native American type of way of things to do. Whereas I just take that it's 5 minutes, and you close your eyes and you just concentrate on your breathing alone. Just breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose. That is meditation. And the more you do it, you'll realize that when you come across the assholes of the world, you can deal with them a lot easier without going nuts, because they don't matter, and you learn they don't matter.
Right? They don't matter. So
yep, Donnie's right. Like, no one wanted to talk about paranormal like years ago. We were doing it. He was doing it. He was doing it long before anybody else was doing it. If there was live streaming when he had his show, he'd still have his show right now. I guarantee it. And it would have been awesome. But his path was different. Your path went a little different. You had to deal with some shit. I still would love to have it, your show back. But yeah, things change. Things change dramatically. Is that when they change, when you figure things out and you're dealing with source, is that because source cares, or is there an emotional component to it?
One way or the other. Source is there for you to grab onto and use, and you can use it for any way that you want to use it. Unfortunately, that's just the way that it works.
Good, bad, and different.
Source, there's nothing judgmental about source. There's no right or wrong. Because that's the way the universe is. Right. Because everything is perception. And especially with humans, everything is perception. Oh, I perceive you as doing wrong because that's not the way I grew up. So you think something that's actually the right thing to do is wrong because you learned some different way.
Yeah. Cisco just posted something. You felt so much better after I saved your ass. Yeah, I did. I came out. We went to this, and it's a great event. It raises money for Wounded Warrior and Gold Star families in Gettysburg. The Gettysburg Ghost Exchange does the Battlefield Bash over at the Wyndham. And she was there, and I went down for the first time because, one, I've never been to Gettysburg. Sorry about the sidebar. And two, because I've always wanted to go to Gettysburg. I mean, if you're into history and then the paranormal and know the crap that takes place at Gettysburg, you'd be like, yeah, I'm going there. So we went there, and I came out, and now my worlds collide, right? Boom. My wife and kids meet my friends and family from the paranormal. And Cisco got my wife down. Boom. She did that. She asked permission. Can I scan you? She scanned her, nailed it on the first thing, just because she's good at what she does. And she was like, I was walking over. She's like, nope, don't come over. And she had the circle, and she's saging, and then she goes, okay, now your turn. No, put that crap down. And it did. I felt a ton better when you did your work, when you did that voodoo that you do so well. Yeah. So it was freaking awesome. But I highly recommend it to doing it again this year. So if you wanted to do a great trip, go to Gettysburg. It's in Cisco, August, right? Mid-August or something like that. It's going to be a great event, and I'm going to try to get back there this year. But
we'll see about me going anywhere or joining anybody with you, because I got so much crap going on now. We're starting to go.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I wish you didn't have the crap and everything was, better. But you know what? The room was really inexpensive at the hotel. and the one that's next to it, they sold out the Wyndham, and the one next to it is now available. You know, it's the same company, and it's still inexpensive for the night. So a lot of bikers down there too. You know, Wounded Warriors, and it's freaking awesome. You know, it's a great event. I wanted it. If I wasn't doing this move and all this crazy stuff, I'm going to talk to Pam and Steve about maybe doing a active intelligent encounter down there. You know, connecting the ghost, paranormal, UFO, cryptids down there one day. I think that would be great. Yep, Headley Lamar, Headley. I just every time I hear Headley Lamar, I think of Blazing Saddles. Sorry. I can't help it. Yes, August 28th. Cisco. Thank you. And Donnie Cho will be there. That's going to be awesome. But getting back to the whole, can you ask Source questions? Because I would love to know what Source's take is on what's going on right now. Not paranormal. What's going on?
You're asking me to do a reading through Source?
No, I'm asking. Can Source, if you ask Source about X, Y, and Z, like what's going on? Why is it taking place? What's happening to kind of get?
No, Source doesn't work that way. Source doesn't give a shit.
All right.
Source is sentient, but not that way. So Source is the same as Mother is to this planet, where she provides everything and allows everything to live on this planet until she's tired of it and creates a hurricane because she's upset or something. But that's the way Source works. You know, it's like
so. I mean,
it's like when a bird lays an egg and it's time for that bird to fly off, then the mother's done. The mother doesn't care what that bird does after that.
But here's the thing. Throughout history, we hear of all these different moments when, like in the Old Testament, when God, you know, he sends and he kills the firstborn male child, right? God takes revenge, exacts revenge, gets rid of Sodom and Gomorrah, which personally, my personal 2 cents here, folks, we're living in it right now.
That was Yahweh that did that.
Well, he's also known as Hashem. So, I mean,
yes.
Eloheinu, Hashem. There's a variety of different names. Some people will see the Jesus thing is really weird. Like, you know, I have no problem with JC whatsoever, but some people are on one camp where like Jesus is a messenger of God, the son of God, but not God. And other places he's God himself in the flesh. So I you know, I'm not gonna I believe he's more of a messenger than the higher power. But where does Source fit into this? Like, I'm going to exact revenge on people for doing the stupid shit.
Source doesn't get involved in that.
Right.
Source doesn't care about that. Source could give a flying fuck. Okay.
Johnny says it goes. He would redirect your inquiry to customer service.
Exactly. I'm starting to like this Donnie character.
Donnie is awesome. He's really, really wise and smart. I met him through Cisco's thing. He's just freaking awesome. He's a good guy, you know, and brings a lot of.
Think about it this way a minute, Brian.
Huh?
The power company.
Yeah.
The power company don't give a flying fuck what you're using the power for.
No.
Or how you're using the power.
Right.
The power company don't care. As long as they don't know, they don't give a shit.
Yeah, once you get off that, when you start having negative use, then they're like, what's going on up there? What are they doing? Well, we hooked up a bunny to a battery and we're using a battery. Yeah, Vegas. Sorry, Donnie mentioned Vegas, and I freaking hate that place. Semantics. See, well, I'm just trying to figure out, like, sources this year, and then and God draws from source and says, okay, I'm going to smite you today. And he pulls the energy from source to smite. Is that what God does, or what people perceive God does?
I said mojo. I didn't say energy.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm more of a science, I go back to energy science and whatever.
You have to understand how the ascended work. And
right.
For Yahweh to do what Yahweh did, it would make him, and it even states in the Bible, if I remember that Bible right, that he was a jealous God. And basically, I think that he was Satan and played the role of God at the same time, so he could have the best of both worlds. That's what I think. Whether people agree with me or not,
really?
That's what I think.
That's one of those moments.
Either you love me, or I'm going to throw you in the basement and stick you in chains.
It's
like some disgruntled parent. That's what I take away from that whole book.
Yeah,
that's me. If I said at the beginning of the show, I'll piss you off. So
yeah, he will. And it's it's just people were wondering about it. There was a lot of people when you were on last, and we've been this is a while ago. People were blown away by all the knowledge you have and what you know. I mean, there's a lot of people here that are going to watch this and they're going to be blown away by it, because
whatever,
they're going to have a hard time with it, because they can't get past their God, their religion that we've grown up in.
Do you understand it's all perception?
I understand that totally, but
most people understand that it's all perception, because his God is not her God. They're two different perceptions of what is supposed to be the same thing. It's kind of like looking at my neighbor. My neighbor's neighbor loves him, but I might think he's an asshole.
Yep.
I mean, two different perceptions. That's all that comes down to.
But that's the whole problem, that the perception is what is hindering us from going like this and coming together. That's the problem, But people are going to hear this and they're going to be blown away, but they're going to have that, I don't know, taintedness, like, well, that's not what I learned in, Sunday school or Catholic school or whatever,
No, it's not. And it's like, I'll just say, to the best of my ability, I will never lie to you. And I will tell you the way that it is. And either you agree with it or you don't, and it's totally up to you.
I think I would say that you
I'm calling bullshit.
Yeah, I think I would call bullshit too.
Yep.
I don't have to think he'd call bullshit. I know he'd call bullshit.
Yeah. He would. He's, right now he's probably doubled over going, I hate all you guys. Yeah, like right now there's through the chat, there's discussion between the Old Testament and I guess the New Testament and whatever. And people aren't a fan of the Old Testament. But the New Testament is,
you got to understand, the Bible was rewritten by the same people that told you the world was flat.
Oh, don't go there.
Oh, I'm going there right now.
Earth right now.
I'm going there right now.
The
Bible was written by the same people that told you the world was flat. Okay, they manipulated that freaking thing to the point that it was ridiculous. And before the Bible was even thought of, Hercules and Atlas, Hercules proved that the world was round.
Yeah.
But, that's all mythology. But that was the first proof right there that the planet was fucking round. But then all of a sudden, the Egyptians didn't come over to the Americas. Because the earth was flat, and because the Christians said that none of that happened, but yet there's proof that the Egyptians were over here.
So you'd fall off the edge, right?
Yeah. You just go,
yeah, falling off the flat earth. Holy crap! I still want to see that show where one of the guys that we used to be friends with wanted to debate you about flat Earth. He was a flat earther. And he, I guess he went through rehab. So he's like semi-born again alcoholic. Don't know. But it would have been great because I know you would have just like you would have ripped off his asshole, repackaged it, and sent it right back to him in a different way. When did we get to the point we have to agree to coexist? That's what Cisco says. Just be cool and don't get your mess on me, but your mess isn't important as mine, and it's just yours. You know the problem with the coexist? You know when you give you that coexist sign?
And you know what I got to say to that?
Yeah.
Cisco. This is what I have to say to that. Okay. I'm right. Deal with it.
Yep. That's Kelly.
Yeah. Well, can you hear her? What'd she say? I didn't even hear what she said. What'd you say?
I think she's right.
Not everybody thinks the way I do. Yeah. Well, I'm right. And everybody else is wrong.
Yep. That's where the problem comes in.
That's exactly it's that attitude right there that is.
But you believe wholeheartedly you are right and everybody else is wrong. Now, other people believe I'm right, you're wrong. And then what happens? We have a stupid war over nothing at this point. There's wars fought over religion or beliefs beyond,
No, but you got to understand all religion. Well, I'm talking about religion. All religion is bullshit. All religion is used to control. All religion is to get their ducks in a row and have their people do what they want them to and use religion as a tool to make them fall in line. And yes, we all believe in the same thing, so we must, whatever. Religion is get past the religion. Spirituality, faith. We haven't even talked about faith. Faith is
thing.
Faith is not in somebody else. Faith is not in. You don't put faith in a God. You don't put faith in your brother and your sister and your mother. You put faith in yourself.
Right.
Because if you don't have faith in yourself, you got nothing. It's if you put faith in someone else, there's always, I don't care who it is. It could be a God. It could not be a God. At some point, someone else will fail you, whether it's their fault or not. Whether they decide to say, fuck you or what. They will fail you. You put faith in yourself. And when you have the faith in yourself that you need, the only line in the book that I ever agreed with and really liked was if you have faith of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. That's the only line in that entire book that I care to repeat.
Yeah, faith is a huge component to being very successful in everything you do. And that could be, in your spiritual path, in your financial path, in your, believing in yourself, having faith in what your abilities are is a tremendous thing to have.
Religion teaches you that you are less than a God, that you must worship a God. Doesn't matter what God it is. Doesn't matter. You are less than that. You are not. I told you at the beginning of the show, you are equal to everything else because the entire universe is you and you are the entire universe. You can't be less than and still be part of.
So bringing this back down to a paranormal perspective. Thanks for the Bronx cheer. What happens to those people that get stuck in the ether? The ghosts, like, why are they still there? Did they not have enough faith to trust in source or their God to go further up? Or, what took place there? Why is that? How does source relate to that?
I mentioned the veil earlier. Nobody knows what the veil is anymore. And specifically, the veil between the heavens and the earth. And the Bible will even tell you about the veil and what the veil does and why it was placed there. And the Bible will tell you that when Christ came here, what he did was he took all the spirit that was here and that had died before him and took them up to heaven. And he said he would do the same thing again when he came back the second time. Whether that happens or not remains to be seen. But so you are earthbound because of that the veil. The same veil is what keeps anyone from going to Mars. Is the same veil is the whole reason there's never been a single human on that fucking moon.
Right.
Because you can't get past it. The moon landing was a sham every single time they did it. Nobody wants to believe that. They want to believe what the government tells you, and they want to believe a government that will give people syphilis and tell them that it's something else in the name of a vaccine, just for a trial. And when a government's that fucking evil, and people still seem, for some reason, have faith in this government that they shouldn't have faith in. But I'm going to stop that there because this is an important show.
It's all right. Tom already started about freaking the food plants going up in flames.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, there you go. And
there it is.
People think it's not coming. It's coming. It will come here. It will be here.
Yep.
And the cold, dark winter that a certain person mentioned, that we all thought was this last winter, that's next winter.
Yep. It's coming. And I'm doing my best to get to a point where at least I can defend against that kind of crap, but totally different show, Tom. We're trying to skirt some of those issues right there, so I don't get banned, for the most part. But getting back to the veil, do you believe the veil is thinner now than it's ever been before between people who are in their shells and I guess people that have ascended up to, I guess, back to heaven or wherever they go?
I think the veil is as thin as you make it, or as thick as you make it. There are so many people here living in fear because they've been told to. If there is a place called hell, you're living in it right fucking now.
Oh, I've always said that
you are a spiritual entity that can do anything in the universe you want to do, but you are bound to this physical body, and so you have limitations. That's hell, as far as I'm concerned.
I've always, remember that show years ago called Lost?
Yep.
Plane that crashed. And I
like that show.
Yeah, I actually love that show, but there was another show that was on at the time that Lost was on, and I didn't have the DVR, and I couldn't record one and get the other, so it was like, I was gonna watch the other show, but that one summer that came on again, they went through every episode every night, so I caught up pretty quick. But I always felt that on Lost, what they were experiencing was purgatory, hell. That's what it was. And once they realized that they graduated to, I guess, the higher plane or the higher consciousness,
they were given the opportunity to live their life because it had been taken short, is what I got from the show.
Right.
And when they realized what was going on, they had the choice to stay where they were at, or they could move on. And that's what the way I took it. Now, that's the beautiful thing about a show is perception. Like, you can see one thing, I see another thing, and we could both be right, or we could both totally be off base.
Yeah, I mean, like, people really got into that show because there was Easter eggs in the whole program, and they really did a great job. Like, throwing all these things in there to get shit going. You know, it was pretty fantastic. But it was a great metaphor for life right now. You know, it's like, what's going on? We don't have to live in this hell that's here. We don't have to keep ourselves in prison. And there's a lot of us that have been talking about this for a while.
You have faith in yourself and get rid of the fear that lies within you, because there's not room for both.
Yeah.
You get rid of the fear and your life will be so much better.
Cops,
you get rid of the fear of there is no death. So you might not exist here in the physical anymore, but there is no death.
Right.
And so with that being said, you know, stop being afraid of dying.
Yeah, no, I've gone through that before. My youngest is terrified of that stuff. And you know, we're working it out with it right now. But you know, it's just actually you're more liberated when you do go to the next level than being where you are at this point. Because I guess all the things that bind you and you know keep you down on the ground, the chains we'll call them, are released at that point, right? You ascend up, and you're like, hey, what's up? You know, you're not bound by anything anymore.
Yeah. The only person that can bind you is you. Unless somebody tries some hocus pocus, but you know what? If you're good enough, you can get rid of that binding from them.
Right.
So you keep yourself bound to where you are because of fear, and no other reason than that. And you were taught fear from a very young age, so it's not, you know, some of it's your fault, but some of it ain't.
Yeah. It's bizarre because I used to fear it. I used to be really, you know, oh, I don't want to die and all this other stuff. And it's like, once you start understanding, or you work with whatever gifts and abilities that everybody has, but no one wants to use them or are aware of for whatever reason, but if you're open to it.
They were taught that it was evil.
Yeah. What happens is you realize that there is more to this, and you don't have to fear it. And there are levels, and you miss the person, the physical contact with that entity, you know, that spirit that was here, and we all do. But they're in such a better place than here. Like I just, the last person I lost was a good friend of mine. I remember he went in, he wasn't feeling well. I was going to get him to the hospital. I may have told this before. And I said, look, you got to go to the doctor. You got to go to a doc in the box, get some prednisone for your lungs and an inhaler and antibiotics, and you'll feel better. And he was worried because he knew that medicine wasn't the same as it is today. It's garbage. People that aren't doctors, they go to a computer and they put in the symptoms and they say, well, the computer says you should do this. Doctors at one point used to be investigators and really investigate what's going on with you, right? And so whatever I said, you know, and after a couple of weeks, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna come to your house. I'm gonna drag you by your hair. We're gonna fight, but I'll take you to a doc in the box. He says, no. Well, about a week later, he got to the point where he called his brother. So his brother picked him up, brought him over to a hospital in Jersey, Barnabas. I couldn't thank him enough. I've never met his brother before. And he goes in there and he brought him to his brother's doctor's office. They said, no, take him to the hospital. He went to the hospital and found out that he had lesions on his spine, lungs, and brain. Didn't get into his lymph nodes, so they were going to go through the chemo stuff. And, you know, I was talking to him. I was on the phone with him, and he was really weak. And the last thing he said is, you know, he's very God worshiping, you know, believed in the Lord big time, Jesus and whatever. And the last thing he said to me that I remember him saying to me was, you know, I'm scared. And, you know, it was hard to hear, but I told him, I said, look, you put your faith in the Lord. You've always done that. Keep going with the faith. You're young. There's a shot, right? Didn't make it. So, and that one hit me really, really hard because he was 44 years old. He's a baby in the grand scheme of things, a baby, and he had so much more life to live. And, but I know this is the weirdest thing. When he passed away that day, when I didn't even know he passed away until 3 days later, but like 2 days prior, roughly the night he passed away, I'm walking through my house and I catch in the corner of my eye him standing in my home. And I looked away, and then I looked back to say, wait, what was that? I know he was there. That was him saying, dude, I'm all right. We're good. And I should have known, but I didn't. But it was frustrating. There are people in this world, if we have to get back to this source and the veil's thin, and why would you put yourself in a situation where you stay here and you're harassing other people? Why would anybody, like, if source is the source and you want to,
when you are ascended, you've got the knowledge of everything. You know everything.
Right.
It's boring as hell. Okay, so you come here so that you can experience what you've known.
Okay, so I come back
to actually interact instead of just being book smart, so to speak.
Right.
You actually put the car together.
Gotcha. That's
the best explanation that I can come up with.
Yeah, no, what I mean. I was told there's like 9 levels. I'm not going to go into it because
no, there's not 9 levels unless you make it 9 levels.
But people regenerate. You go there, you come back. A couple of people have said it was a 72-year lull between generations. No. You can come back at any timeline or time period, but it's usually a 7.
That's a whole other ball game.
Yeah, I don't. I won't get into that. But we're chilling. We're getting close to where I have to vacate the premises eventually. So we're not going to be on that much longer, folks. Got to take care of a bunch of different things. I came rushing in tonight, and I really do apologize, but I didn't want to cancel this thing whatsoever. I wish Al was here.
We've been talking about doing this for a while now.
Yeah. But I do think it was important because, you talk about source, a couple of the other guys that are here that watch the show and, do their thing. They got, they enjoyed a lot of what you were saying the other day, the other time that you were on here. They were like really blown away by you. And I mean, if anybody wants this wonderful human being, on their program, I'm sure he'll be more than happy to grace you with his presence.
They were asking about Enchanted Mystic Arts, House Intuitions.
Right. I have that. I have a link here, but we're going to get her on. That's me.
I gave her your information.
No. We connected. Okay. She has this. Here it is. I'm going to put this up right now. So the store that he's been on this journey path, and things started to kind of like come together, and now you do teaching and recce and so much more at this store. The store is Enchanted Mystic Arts House of Intuitions, and that would be EMAHOISHOP.com. It's right there on the screen right there.
But don't get me wrong, I am not a light worker. I am who I am. Yeah, that can be like, that can mean whatever it means to you.
And I'm not going to go into it.
I'm not a light worker. I am just what I am, and because I can be the nicest guy and I can be the biggest asshole. And
yep.
Just ask Kelly. She'll tell you. Am I an asshole?
Yeah,
Kelly. See, most of the time.
Oh, trust me, I know. I've been on the receiving end of that sometimes, but because you were trying to put a show and I didn't have enough, I guess, gas for the swamp. Swamp gas. But it's, he is who he is. This is what you get. This is the package. And that's part of the stuff that we love about you. I mean, Alan, I love you to death. I know Cisco, she loves you in the fact that you're doing what you do. But this is a great shop. It's well deserved. It's needed. They're providing not only a service, but like, I would almost, when you get into what they do there as far as readings and
I think it's pretty impressive. I mean, I don't usually say that.
Yeah, not only impressive, but I think it's needed today. Maybe, stop by, say hi, maybe get your chakras aligned, maybe discover more that there's more to the universe than you, yourself, and I, and maybe once you do that, you'll start vibrating at a higher frequency, move yourself to a higher level in the ascension, chart, and really change your life and make your life that much better.
The best thing I can say is connect with your higher self. You've heard people on several different shows say the same damn thing.
Yep.
Connect to your higher self. And when you connect to your higher self, then your higher self and you, which, you're both the same thing, your higher self will tell you what you need to be doing for what you are doing, the place that you are now.
Right.
And that might be a cab driver. And then again, it might be a politician, and it's whatever. It's where you need to be, but you need to understand that I am you, you are me.
Right.
And that every time that you do something towards someone out of malice, you're doing it to yourself, and vice versa. And the tough love part of this is when you don't allow that to happen. And when you stand up in someone's face and say, no, you're not going to do this, because I can't allow you to do this.
Right.
Because it's hurting me or it's hurting whoever. And so that's why I'm not a light worker.
No, because I get it.
I will do what I need to do. And, sometimes you have to bite your tongue, and sometimes you have to just deal with it and let things slide because of the situation. But, and then there's times like, for example, if someone breaks into your house,
right,
and they're going after your children, are you going to shoot them, or are you going to stand there because you're a light worker? And you don't believe that you should do any harm while that person is harming. You are going to do what you need to do to protect your children.
Exactly.
Or anybody, that's just because you are human. So you can't fool yourself into thinking you are one way, because you are everything. But the malice, if you don't want malice in your heart, don't have malice in your heart. If you want to love, have love in your heart. If you, and so on. What can I say? There's nothing else I can say about that. I mean,
no, it all works. It works perfect. It's one of those things where when you take a moment to start meditating, and I'm not kidding, do 3-minute meditations. You're going to open yourself up to a lot more of what he's been talking about tonight, and you'll get it. It's kind of hard to explain. That's why I wanted you to talk about source, because I'm trying to catch it, I'm trying to get it, and I'm trying to do it also. I got it initially, and I'm like, but I was putting too much of what I already knew or was born into it. Now I have to break it down into the components of, no, this is separate. This is source. It's separate from the other component. And then once you can figure that out, then I guess
is it
the interplay.
Is it truth or is it perception?
Right.
Or is it perception of a truth that you want to hold that's not necessarily truth?
Right.
You have to get past all that. And sometimes it's not so easy to do.
Yeah, it's, this is like Tom from North Carolina, Cryptid and Paranormal Project, NCCPP. Great show. Tom does a great show. He's a researcher. He's looking for answers for his questions, but he's also trying to, provide a great, like a source to go to for information. When I posted that video, Tom, there was someone on there which really pissed me off, because I was telling everybody this is how I felt, and this person came in and started pulling all this. I've been studying physics for years, and you're negative and I'm positive, and when negative can't exist in positive, and you're wrong, and you got to change your attitude. And basically I kept answering her questions, and I said, this is being, I'm being told to tell you this because it's there, it's true, it's real. And I served her up with a lot more truth in this, like, if you studied physics, which you didn't, you'd know that good, bad, negative, positive, everything exists at the same moment, in the same place. It doesn't matter that you're so positive. It doesn't matter like, oh, I have light around me. You're so full of crap that you miss the point, and you don't know what you're talking about. And this is someone who is a self-described psychic medium and ghost hunter, paranormal hunter, whatever. And this person, she's hurting others. She's really putting people in danger because she doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. And I have a problem with that. So it is going to get bad for light workers. I was talking to Tiggy Tramp here, and he's right about a lot of it. We have a lot of coronal mass ejections taking place, bombarding us off the chart lately. And that is affecting us dramatically. But I also believe that the evil, the dark, the evil, the everything down here that is wrong with this world and making life unbearable for so many people because they're scaring them into believing it's true when it's not. They don't want people that are self-described or light workers or people that are there to help people and thinking positive, higher consciousness, raising their vibrations, to start doing that, because once we have our consciousness aware of what good and bad is, they have no control over us. So it is going to get bad. They're going to do some false flag events. They're going to, I guarantee you, come the midterm elections, is going to be a miraculous new strain of something that's going to force people in their homes. Why? Because they're going to go to mail-in ballots and they're going to rig it again and steal it again, because they know that everybody knows these people are idiots and they're not falling for it the second time. So they got to rig it. So this is what's happening. They're burning food plants. This is all that negative stuff. And people, we got to stop fighting over skin color and religion and belief systems and whatever. Just get together, let people live and let live. Stop being so sensitive to shit.
The other thing about this supposed negative, stop being so negative. If you don't give recognition to the fact that there were 12 food processing plants in this event that took place, and if you don't recognize that the chicken factories that were in that situation that were taken care of, if you don't recognize that, when all this takes place, you're going to be caught so far off guard. Yep. You're not going to be, you might as well just bend over and kiss your ass goodbye.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for everybody, man. They're going to see, they're going after the food, because if there's no food or the supply doesn't exist anymore, the only people who are going to have food is going to be the people in power. and you're going to be beholden to them to eat and feed your family. When all you got to do is get together and tell them to cut the crap and get rid of these people. That's the bottom line. Again, this goes back to the source stuff, and I don't want to go full circle, but it does, because what happens is if you start raising your vibration and you're saying, no, we're not going to take this crap anymore, and you get together and you do your best to stop it and let them know you're not going to control us anymore, we're not going to listen to you anymore, blah blah blah. We can take back this sphere in the middle of this universe and make it a really awesome place where people can not just survive, they can live and they can enjoy life and they can enjoy their family. And we're really, they've gotten everybody so screwed up. It's beyond belief. So that light workers are the ones that are going to help shed the light onto the people that are caught in the headlights of these idiots. And they're the ones that are going to say, listen, God is everywhere. We're all one people. Let's work together. We'll stop this crap and we'll have a better life. We are in it's almost as if the Revolutionary War, Nazi Germany, and a couple other stages in life, Sodom and Gomorrah, are all converged into one freaking spot. And there's some people who are like, dude, wake up. Pay attention to what's going on with this food. You're not paying attention. How do all these plants miraculously have fires? Someone's setting them on purpose, There
was also 3 different oil factories, I'll put it that way, that burnt too.
Yeah, it's crazy. There.
If you noticed, gas jumped today. Yesterday, gas was, what was it, 364, Kelly, or something like that?
Yeah.
Today, it's 407.
Wow. They're going to try anything to get this done. They're gonna mess with the gas. They're trying to force you into buying an electric car. Do you know how much a Tesla costs?
Well, it's not just that, is they want to control how far you go.
Yeah. Electric cars, they're going to control your credit cards. They're going to control your money because it's going to be electric. People don't understand. I had an argument with somebody online recently in Twitter. Oh, that's why I go crypto, cryptocurrency, That's why I have Ether, Ethereum and Bitcoin and whatever. Folks, they control the internet. Actually, someone who's part of this, Obama, relinquished the control of the internet from the U.S. to people that really wanted it because they want to control you. And once the power goes and they shut the grid down, I don't care if you have a battery operated X, Y, and Z, or they do an EMP, right? You don't have any crypto. You got nothing. You know what you got? Got a lot of Chinese parts that are now a big old door stopper. It's like,
exactly.
Yeah. So you don't want digital currency because, one, it violates the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights. It's freedom without surveillance. 2, the reason why they want that is so they can shut you off. You say comments like you do this show right here, where we touch on some of the stuff, but we talked about other things to help better your life and get you out there. They're going to just, what do you mean I can't buy this food? Oh no, you said your comment on social media was not nice, and we're not going to, you don't eat today, and it's going to happen, So, I don't want to go too crazy because we're about an hour 45 minutes, but I think we're good. I'd love to have you back on when Al is not. I'll just leave when Al's feeling better.
I'm not even gonna,
Yeah.
feel better, Al.
Yeah, no, seriously. I don't like when he's not feeling well. He gets grumpy, and
yeah, he's a good guy. So I don't have a problem with Al.
And I need someone like Al to, so he can call bullshit.
I'm calling bullshit.
Yeah. So, but I want to thank you, Tigger, or whatever you want to go by, these days. And, thank you for coming on. I want to thank everybody for being in the chat room.
Yeah, thanks.
I got to take
cool.
care of some stuff. So, AJK, thank you. Tom, North Carolina Cryptid and Paranormal Project. Donnie Cho, Cisco, love you to death. My sister from a different mister. Journey Through the Gay Paranormal Portal podcast. And there's a bunch of people. Facebook user. You got to go and reveal yourself. I don't know who you are, Facebook user, but thank you for coming in. We had a bunch of people. We're going to do this again, and we're going to do the full review when Al's feeling better. He's off his monthly cycle, and we're going to talk about there's a lot of good stuff going on with the UFO community. I wanted to touch on it tonight, but I figured Source was better, and I've been dying to talk to him on camera again. So, but his books, Tigger's books, are available, and you can go to Amazon. We're going to share that screen right now. Go to Amazon.com, and what you want to look for is Paul Eison, Ieson, and there it is. It's Twisted Life, Time Slips, Reality Shifts, Aliens Immortal Among Us, Life is a Human, Swamp Dust, 4 Twisted Tales. They're great books. It's read as if it's being told to you from a campfire, right? So
yeah, Twisted Life is read to you. You read it like someone's telling you a story at the campfire.
Yep. And I thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yep. And also go visit him at the Enchanted Shop, which is, I'm going to share that one too. Let me share that before we go. I'm going to share that right now.
You too.
Yeah. Here it is. I'm going to give you the actual screen grab. Where are you? Metaphysical Enchanted Arts. There they are. House of Intuition.
Really? I don't see that.
Oh, you don't see it? Hold on. You don't see the screen popping up?
I see Enchanted Mystic Arts.
Yeah, isn't that the place?
Journey towards spiritual healing today. I've never been to their website. So
This
is it. This is their website.
Yep, this is it. It looks like a great place.
Yep, there's me right there. It's Lady Mystique.
Lady Mystique. And we're gonna have her on too. I want her to, talk about how she started in this whole thing. It'd be nice to know, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, but we'll get her on so she can promote what she does. And I don't know if I'm gonna put you on as a co-host there. Maybe I'll grab Al, because he can get different angles. We get the his and hers. But
it's kind of a conflict of interest.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, I figured, I wouldn't, put you there in that position, So,
well, that way, it's like if you piss her off, she's pissed at you, not me.
Yeah. Yep. But that was it, my brother. Thank you very much for coming on the show with me and being here. I wasn't gonna cancel for nothing. I feel bad Al's not here, but we'll be back eventually. Hopefully in a couple weeks.
Y'all have a good one, and I'll see you. Bye.
Bye, everybody.